Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chamber here. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Xbox Series X and the PS5 and talking about if you really should get them this year. Now, there's a lot of different things, and I'm basically going to be comparing it to an equally priced computer or PC. Now, as much as they say you'll get a PS5 for $499 starting, $500 for the CD drive one, which is the one I definitely do recommend, because if you are going to get a console, typically on disc you'll actually get a better discount, so you'll save the $100 over the course of the 7 to 10 years that you may have this console in the generation. But with the Series X, there's $500 standalone, so you can also get it for slightly cheaper. I think it's about $420, $440 if you get it through Game Pass Ultimate, so that's a good deal. There's also the Series S. I know that I have already done a video about that. I think that's actually a really good deal. So if you are definitely just like, I want a console, get that console unless you're looking for high quality 4K gaming. Okay, so I want to talk about the true price of a console. And that is something that I feel like a lot of people, when they compare a console with, don't really go over with. Now, for both these, I'm going to say about $1,400 is basically what you're looking at. Because you have about $500 for the console, obviously. Then, so if you could take the last 7 years of PlayStation or Xbox and you have to get your online subscription, and it costs $60 a year. This is at its cheapest option. 60 times 7, that's a $420 right there. Then plus $60 for another controller if you get one that's by them. And it's because you're most likely going to need a new controller then. And then $421. Now, I know a lot of people are going to ask what that is. You can't check your email. You can't do a lot of basic things that you can like on a computer on that. So that's why I actually added this thing to the list, which is called an Acer Inspire 5. So this is like the cheapest Windows laptop that like you can do things on. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM, which obviously is not a lot, but hey, you can open up a couple Chrome tabs, check your email, watch a video, do some basic things on it. And I'm actually going to talk, and so here's the link. Will link this down below in the description, but we're actually going to talk about now some better alternatives to it. Now, I've made 2 parts lists, and I'll put these down below and I'll link them. One includes a monitor, and one does not, because obviously some people, and I feel like the people who really are looking to maybe branch out into a computer, build a computer, you're going to have maybe a monitor already. You're kind of trying to take games seriously. So we're just going to go through the one with the monitor first, though, and just kind of explain it a little bit. This is a Ryzen 5 3600. This is a 6-core processor. This is a very good processor. This is what basically like the best price to performance processor is. Almost everyone has this in their computer. I have a 2600X. It's the last gen version of this. It's an awesome processor. So obviously this is a really, like, everyone who I recommend a PC for, I'll put this in their system. Now, you don't need a CPU cooler. This one actually comes with one. You can see it right there on the box right here. It's a very good cooler. It's not like an Intel stock cooler, which honestly could be used as a fire starter. But now we're going to go to the motherboard. Now, this is a B550 motherboard. Now, this will actually give you options to a couple of things that you can upgrade to down the line. Now, you have 2 storage drives right here, with the top one being PCI Express 4.0. Now, that just means it's slightly faster. You won't really feel it in your games. You're not going to be like loading 2 times as fast compared to a 3.0 or a 4.0 or even just a normal solid state drive. Now, you have 4 RAM slots, which is obviously good, especially at this price point. You can have 4 drives right here. Good VRMs, which are your power delivery in your CPU, so your CPU won't like be starving for power. And then you can also overclock it a little bit if you ever want to. So now that we're onto that, we're going to go to RAM. Now, I always recommend for every Ryzen build a 3600 kit. Now, obviously latency is important, but for here, I've wanted to have good speeds, and then the timings were coming second. Now, I've seen these timings 18, 20, 20, 40. I know that won't make a lot of sense to certain people, but let's just say those are pretty good, especially for that speed right here of 3600. Now, you could obviously go with a cheaper kit for about 3200, but for the price, this is the best value you're going to get. You're going to be spending $2 less, but you're really going to be actually getting a better value out of this one. And now you have 2 drives. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, they're just going to see this drive and they're like, that's way less than a new console has because they have 1 terabyte of storage each. Now, we're actually not going to go through the 1 terabyte. We have a 2 terabyte, but I chose what's called an NVMe drive because they're very fast, and it's going to be about the same as what you're going to have in a console. Now, you're going to use this 250 gigabyte to use like maybe your main game, like maybe let's say you're playing Fortnite, and also your Windows, because you're going to want to have your Windows on there, because if not, it is going to feel terrible while you're gaming. So now that we've done that, you also have this 2 terabyte. Now this is for like bigger files. Let's say you keep movies, you keep a lot of videos on your computer. Maybe you have a lot of music, high quality music, or all your extra games you have, like your Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Because man, that thing, why is that game so big? I don't even know. But now that we've done that, we're actually going to go into the graphics card. Now I know a lot of people are going to be like, why is there no image for it? Like, why is it just a manually set price? Now, this is the RTX 3070. This is currently not out yet. This comes out in about 2-3 weeks, so we can just actually look it up for you. So RTX 3070, that's what it's going to look like. We're going to go to images, and we're just going to see what some people have theirs looking at. Let's see. This looks like it. No, I know this isn't it. I can just do images because I don't understand why some people are like, yo, let's just show all the wrong cards. All right, here's one. So you see you have a 3070 right here. Now, obviously, you can do it with a lot of different coolers. Like some coolers will look like this. This is a higher end model. This is like a 3080. But obviously, it's going to be about $500. And for that price, you're getting about the same performance of a 2080 Ti from NVIDIA as their last gen. So the top tier graphics card last generation, this is what you're getting now, is for a lot cheaper price. And then a Lian Li LAN-Cool 2 Mesh. Now, at the end of 2019, Lian Li released the LAN-Cool 2 non-mesh. It was an awesome case, but it obviously could have been improved. So Lian Li said, we're going to do it. So they improved the case by actually taking out the like kind of solid front panel and giving you a mesh panel. And you also get your 3 RGB fans in the front. So hey, you can make a PC look cool because you can't do that on a console. You don't have RGB lighting. But that would be cool if you could do that. Then a Thermaltake 750 watt gold. I trust the Thermaltake power supplies. I think they're good power supplies. Never cheap out on a power supply. That will always end up bad for you. But then we're going to now I actually added 5 fans in here. So in case you wanted to, because you can actually have 5 fan mounts. So you can have, I believe, 3 at the top, 1 right here, and then 1 actually at the bottom. So you can have a bunch of airflow, a bunch of fans. And then you can have a silent computer because it'll be very like a lot of fans. So you have a lot of cooling, and you can actually lower the fan speed, so it'll be quieter. And then just a monitor. And this is the cheapest 24-inch 144 hertz monitor, because if you're gaming on a computer, especially with this, you're gonna want to have higher refresh rate, higher frames, like the Xbox is targeting. You don't want to be at 60 frames anymore. So that's obviously it for $1,391.90. So you're also saving about $10, which honestly, I don't know. Go buy a Travis Scott meal or something. I don't know. Get what you want. But now we're going to go on to the parts list without a monitor. So there's actually a lot of this is the same, so I might be slightly quicker when explaining this. There's basically 2 things I changed in here. And that is actually something that you're going to feel while gaming. That is your processor. So this is a Ryzen 7 3700X. So you get 2 more cores, and that also means 4 more threads. So instead of a 6-core 12 thread, you get an 8-core 16 threads. So with this, you could actually do some light streaming on it. You can do some rendering on it, definitely. So let's say you want to be, turning into the next Ninja or something, Shroud. I don't know. Whoever your favorite streamer is. You can play some games with it, definitely. while also streaming them at very high quality at the same time. I also changed the motherboard. Now this is by MSI. This is the B550 Tomahawk. This is a newer version of the B450 Tomahawk, which was the most popular B450 motherboard out there. I've had people use this on very high-end AMD processors easily, so definitely with an 8-core you can do it. Now, there's a lot of things. This is actually a bigger motherboard than the last one. You get slightly more drive connections. You still have that very high-powered, very fast M.2 SSD support, and you have slightly better power delivery, so you can overclock maybe more. Always depends on your processor. Then everything else is the same when it goes down to the RAM, that solid state drive for your main drive, that 2 terabyte hard drive, because that is an awesome deal that you have. Same 3070. Most likely when the 3070s do release, I'll actually modify this PC part picker list and change it in the description. So there's a real 3070 in it. You get the real LAN Cool 2 mesh. Well, you get the same LAN Cool 2 and the same power supply, because this is an awesome power supply and gives you room to grow. And let's say you want to add a newer graphics card, or hey, you want to switch out your CPU because hey, you found a good deal on a newer one that fits in your motherboard, so you can do that. And then we also include the same Arctic 5-pack of fans. I actually have these fans in my system. They're awesome. And you get $1,381. So you're actually saving money by not having a monitor. But if you would want to get a monitor, you can obviously do that. I've recommended just a 144Hz 1080p monitor. You can obviously do whatever you want. Maybe upgrade to a 4K monitor if you really just want high quality instead of high refresh rate. But that's all up to you. And I'd also want to talk about the AMD Ryzen cooler that's on the 3700X, because it's a slightly different cooler and actually looks a lot cooler in my opinion. It is this one. So it's actually RGB. You have a little more color. You can have a little more flare coming out of your computer, which obviously will look cool. And this will also keep it slightly cooler than the 3600 one, but obviously they're different processors, so 3700X is actually causing more heat. But I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hit that like button down below if you have not. So I will link all these links down below to like the laptop that I linked, in the 2 parts list. That's what I'm going to link down below. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.